Bengals training camp is 14 hours away. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien. He's Andrew Fox Miller, and this is a special pre-training camp edition of Enter the Jungle. We're going to tape it for FanDuel Sports Network and discuss a bunch of stuff. There's obviously nothing to talk about when it comes to contracts. All those contract dilemmas are completely behind us. It's great that we can just focus on the football in this show, Andrew, and only talk football, not contracts or money or drama or holdouts.
Yep. None of that. None of that. No one posting pictures that they're in Florida on Instagram. None of that.
Yeah. So I could say this because Diana Rossini put it out there because I knew where Trey lived, but he's in Jacksonville. And I was like, man, it'd be nice if I was hitting the beach tomorrow. Like, I'm really excited about camp, but I didn't take a vacation this offseason. I was like, man, it'd be nice to hit the beach. And I'm not saying Trey's vacationing, but I'm just throwing that out there. Like, little Atlantic Beach. Not most people watching aren't going to know, but Atlantic Beach. Yeah, everyone's going to think of Jack's Beach. Atlantic Beach is where it's at in Jacksonville.
Yeah. No, that's this is the anti-vacation time. This is a grind. We've got a grind ahead of us.
Yeah,
No doubt.
And it's a fun grind and it's exciting. And that's why I wish we were just focused on the football. We're not going to be able to. So when we record our taping here for FanDuel, it's going to be a lot of Trey talk, a lot of Shemar talk. But after we're done with the show, we'll hang around. We'll do a live Q&A. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. You want to ask me about Taj Brooks. I somehow got tagged in a Taj Brooks hype train on fantasy on X because I tweeted out about the Zach Moss injury news. So once we get through the 22-minute show, it's going to go quick. And it's Bengals. It's a Bengals show. Then we'll dive into some Q&A and do traditional YouTube style live that we've done in the past. So
yeah,
here we go.
Yeah. Well, for those that are new to this, you'll be able to get a little, I don't know, behind the scenes. James and I typically record this. We premiered on YouTube. We've done lives this off season. This is one of those times where it warranted it. There's just enough information going on. We weren't going to record this like last night or even this morning.
Thank God we didn't, because it would have been like optimism surrounding Trey Hendrickson, and now today it's the opposite. So I'm good if you're good. I have this giant Yeti full of garage beer.
Why would you? What's the okay? At least you name dropped them.
Yeah, no, it's water. I'm just kidding.
I know.
I gotta hydrate, man. Camp. No joke. No joke. I bumped into Zach yesterday unintentionally, and I could feel it. He might ask me to try out tomorrow, so I got to be ready. I got to be ready to go just in case.
Oh God.
They signed Des Ridder. If they're looking at University of Cincinnati alums.
Oh, that's the connection. If they're looking at University of Cincinnati alums.
That's when you should say, well, then you're a UC alum as well. See, I mean, that's what you should have done.
No, there's so many ways I could have gone with that, and I wasn't going to go that direction.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, let me retweet this so people are. I saw so the last thing, and then I promise we're going to get into the show, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll get to your questions. I get you get the notifications on your phone now, and AI like interprets them for you, so it gives you like a teaser. And I saw some tweets from X, and it was Trey Hendrickson, and I'm like, oh God. So I looked, and it was just our show. But you never know. You don't know what it is, right? And so
right.
Yeah,
that's funny.
AI is gonna mess with me forever, or the never-ending contract drama. All right, garage beer sip.
Oh, let's share this on social real quick and let's go.
You didn't share it yet? I literally just talked about tweeting it. Were you listening? Are you listening to me?
I wasn't listening.
You're not listening? Oh.
I'm ready. I'll start listening. Earlier, I'm going to try.
Is that a Bengals impression? Is that a Trey Hendrickson impression? Is that Shemar Stewart's agent's impression? Like, who are you impersonating when you're not listening?
I thought it was more outbound communication that was lacking. Not so
which
much
contract drama person? What character are you in this dramatic, intense football show that's coming to Peacock? I'll play myself, by the way.
Oh, you're going to play yourself?
Yeah, which means I would be an extra. I'd be an extra. I wouldn't even be part of the show.
Yeah, just be on in the background on FanDuel Sports Network at a bar and win some part of it.
That's right. All right. Speaking of that, we're about to dive into Enter the Jungle. We will do that. You care if I play the music, Andrew? Or do you want me to not? You think it's going to mess things up?
I don't care. Go ahead.
I think it will. I think it'll be fine.
All right.
Fine. Let's treat our live viewers. We've got 300 plus people in here. We're going to get to a Q&A in 22 minutes, but Enter the Jungle starts right now. The holdout begins. Trey Hendrickson didn't get a contract. Shemar Stewart, more contract drama. Let's dive into it all right now on Enter the Jungle. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Enter the Jungle. I'm James Rapien. He's Andrew Fox Miller. Make sure you catch us every single Tuesday at 8 Eastern on the YouTube channel Cincinnati Bengals Talk all season long and weekly on FanDuel Sports Network. We're brought to you by Garage Beer and Lakespur Marketing. And Andrew, let's dive in because it is I got to be honest with you. Training camp starts this week. Some people watching training camp will have already started. And the crazy thing is this contract drama continues. We're supposed to be talking about football and position battles, and we are going to talk some football in this show. But the contract drama is taking precedent, and hopefully it gets solved soon. Trey Hendrickson officially holding out. He was in Florida on Tuesday as the rest of the Bengals veterans, including Joe Burrow, reported for training camp. And Trey looking for a new contract. Multiple pass rushers this offseason have gotten new contracts. Trey Hendrickson led the NFL in sacks. I get why he wants a new deal. I think everyone understands why he wants a new deal. The Bengals said they want to give him a new deal, and Mike Brown sounded optimistic on Monday. Clearly, Trey Hendrickson doesn't feel the same way, or something broke down between Monday and Tuesday. Trey Hendrickson not in town in Jacksonville, Florida, training, waiting, hoping to sign a deal with the Bengals. I'm putting you on the spot right now, Andrew. Does a deal get done, long-term extension, a multi-year extension with Trey Hendrickson before the start of the regular season?
I've said I think it would happen all along, and I'm not too surprised that this is happening. Sure, there are particulars about this that are irritating me. Probably didn't see coming exactly the way it's at right now, but I don't know that enough has happened where I'm convinced that it won't happen, right? So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Am I feeling a little more nervous? Absolutely. I have reason to be. But I realistically did not see him taking the field on day one of training camp.
I didn't either. I'm not surprised. I don't even know if disappointed's the word, because I'm really not concerned about Trey. I know he's in great shape. I don't think he needs to learn a bunch when it comes to the defense. But the thing that I really am looking at, and we saw it firsthand last year with Jamar Chase, no matter how great you are, these contract talks, these negotiations can just be mentally draining and exhausting. And that's why Jamar wasn't himself week one. That's why Jamar wasn't himself week two when he loses it in Kansas City. Now, he didn't get his deal, but if this drags out and we're talking about it going into week one, and we're talking about it when we're at Anthony Munoz's golf outing, shout out to Anthony, Bengals GOAT. We've had to do that the past 2 years, where a few days before Joe Burrow gets his deal, a few days before the regular season starts, and he signs it and flies to Cleveland. And then last year with Jamar, and it didn't get done, and obviously it was in his head. I don't want that. And that's my concern here. Are they far enough apart where they can't bridge the gap and get him in? Because if he's in the Bengals facilities and he has a new deal a month from now on August 21st, August 22nd, sign me up. I'd be totally fine with that. I think we'll have plenty of time to get ready to go and be ready to go on September 7th when the season starts. But if it's September 3rd and Labor Day has passed and we're talking about the contract with Trey and will it get done or won't it get done, I think that would be a failure by the Bengals, because they clearly want him in Cincinnati and he wants to be in Cincinnati.
Yeah, of course they want him. I mean, he's an asset. He's a valuable asset. And like it or not, as of today, prior to the 2025 regular season, he's arguably the third best player on this team. You've said it, James. A number of people have said it.
Yep.
I think many Bengals fans would agree with that. And so at what point is the asset of no value? What, he retires? I'm not saying that's what will happen, although there's probably a non-zero chance that it could happen, right? I mean, I just can't help but think about how clear Trey Hendrickson expressed his wishes for long-term security. He said as much during the 2024 offseason. He's doing the same thing now.
Yeah.
I just don't want the outcome of all of this to be us and everyone else asking what the Bengals could have gotten if they traded him. I don't want to be wondering that. Like, if he plays even a fraction of the season, like, is his value in the fact that you can franchise tag him? Like, ST, if the Bengals are willing to go there. Technically twice, right? Like, look, the Bengals are at least entertaining Trey with offers. Great. Even if they aren't narrowing in on an offer that solves all of this, but are they just like humoring him? Is this their slow play? It's exhausting, like you said, for fans as well.
I do wonder that. They have the leverage. They may think he's just going to play it out, or they're comfortable with him playing it out, and they'll do that. Mike Brown called him, said, he gets emotional during these negotiations, and it's part of why I would be concerned about dragging this out for another 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks. To me, from a Bengals standpoint, it's very, very simple. Do you think you can win a Super Bowl without Trey Hendrickson? And is that realistic? I don't think it is. I don't think it is for a bunch of reasons. I think this defense is going to be better than it was last year. But if you don't have Trey, then suddenly you need multiple defensive ends to be starters, not just rotational pieces that get pressure. And that's a big difference, especially in the AFC North. And that would be the concern. And so for me, I keep looking. If I do look back, I look back to January, and I'm like, man, if you guys knew deep down you wanted to pay him,
Right.
and you wanted to pay him market value then, which what they're offering now would have gotten the deal done then, I guarantee it. And I don't know the exact numbers, but the market's just completely shifted. It's different. Why weren't you just more aggressive? Why didn't you beat that Max Crosby deal? Why didn't you get ahead of it and sign him at the combine? And I know they talked at the combine. Like, if you had done that, we're not even having any of this. It's fine. And instead, the whole market shifts, throws everyone for a loop, at least in the Bengals front office, from a money standpoint and a guaranteed standpoint. And for Trey, you don't want to look like you took this not second or third rate deal, but like eighth rate deal. And it could have been an extension announcement in early March before Max got done, and that didn't happen. And so when I look back, I think that's the mistake. Now I get it. Like, you're in the thick of a negotiation. I still think a 2-year extension that is going to secure this season for him with a raise, give him significant guaranteed money next year, and then we'll see in 2026. I think he would take that. I don't know what the average annual value is of what their offer is. If it's in the 30s, I think that they'll probably stand on that and say, Trey, turn this down when the going gets really tough into mid to late August. And we'll see if he takes it. I hope he gets paid, and I hope he's here, I don't know, within the next, I'd say, month. After that, it's getting a little concerning, I would say.
You mentioned they should have gotten it done early in 2025, before the draft, before free agency, all that. And I agree. I would also include, oddly enough, they were probably inundated with trying to figure out how to lock in Shemar and T, who they also should have gotten done earlier before the market changed. So they're letting the same mistakes, we'll call it that just for the sake of our conversation, repeat themselves. So, like, forget if you agree or disagree about Trey Hendrickson getting whatever amount of money he's probably going to get. We'll see. Mm-hmm. It's precedent. Like, for me, I just think about it like, even thinking about players, you mentioned 2026, like, never mind. Actually, you know what? Never even mind 2026 free agents. You could have guys like extensions. Like, you could have Orlando Brown Jr., Chase Brown, Yosavash, DJ Turner, like probably Jordan Battle, I guess. It's not worth the energy worrying about the entire list that far out. But my point is that these negotiations with proven players continue to drag out. I'm nervous for the players that are proven in 2026 and beyond.
Sure. I get that. And I think getting ahead of it, I mean, there are guys that I think could sign. I'll at least write an article if we don't have time to do a video on it for bengalstalk.com on some extension candidates, because I do think there are some guys that could get extensions in the coming weeks that aren't the names we're talking about, and certainly not Trey Hendrickson. Ultimately, though, Hopefully they can find a way to get a deal done. I want to see Trey in camp. The Bengals clearly didn't want to trade Trey. They kept him here. You kept him here for a reason, Bengals. Get it done. From Trey to more contract drama, we'll get into Shemar Stewart, the Bengals' first-round pick, the only unsigned first-round pick. As we do this show, we'll dive into that coming up next. What is up, everyone? Welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien. He's Andrew Fox Miller. It's a special live edition of Enter the Jungle. That was our Trey rant. There was more there. This taping is designed for FanDuel Sports Network. It airs every single week, multiple times a week on FanDuel. So what we're going to do is we'll finish taping the show, and then we're going to get to a bunch of your questions. We'll do a nice Q&A here on YouTube and discuss if you have questions about Trey, if you have questions about Andrew's awesome Cincy hat, maybe my hat, which I love. We need to get more of these. We need to get more of these hats, Andrew. But we'll be around to answer those with training camp. It really is less than 14 hours away, my man. You better get some sleep after this.
I know. And for what it's worth, I am marking comments. I know we're recording for FanDuel, but when we're done, we'll be getting back to some of these questions. So if you're asking questions, don't think you're necessarily being ignored. I'm queuing some. We're going to circle back to them. So hang around if you can. We may be pulling some of the things that you're bringing up here, just really quickly. R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne. That's right. Yeah. I mean, I felt like he was on borrowed time, but I did not expect it so soon after that farewell concert.
Yeah. Wasn't that a few days ago?
Weeks? Maybe a week
Weeks?
too? I'd have to look.
I've seen clips of the concert. I can't say I was following it closely. I've been following my own Trey Hendrickson and
we'll just get this out of the way real quick, Dan, man. I've seen a few people ask about that. Yeah, that's so this is a Hollis local artist that did this. He had a booth actually at Jungle Jam for those that were able to make that. But they're on Cincy hats, I believe on their website now it's for sale, but they definitely had it at the booth, and that's where I got it. So I thought it was awesome. So yeah.
It's really cool.
All to a good
cause. Did you see the new Tiger shirt that they have with the slashes? Like
yes.
the Tiger flexing.
Yeah, that was cool.
Dude, if they keep the one with the slashes, they said slashes or no slashes, like they better keep the slashes. Like, that thing was sick. I was like, ooh, man, oh man. Trey's gonna be able to buy a whole lot of those after he gets his deal, man.
July 5th was a farewell concert. Okay, weeks, yeah.
Okay, a few weeks, got it. 17 days. 17 days is a long time.
So we'll go ahead and record segment.
You know why it's a long time?
What?
When you're like in contract talks or negotiate, 17 days is going to feel like a really long time.
Oh
Obviously,
my God.
It's not. I was tying it back to football there. I just had to clarify so people don't think I'm serious. All right. So we'll dive into Shemar here, and then we have a little offensive line talk, and then some quick injury updates we'll react to, and then it's going to be all systems go here on the live stream. Andrew, Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Enter the Jungle. He's Andrew Fox Miller. I'm James Rapien, and this segment is brought to you by Lakespur Marketing. Lakespur Marketing will eliminate waste so you're getting the most out of your budget. They have more than 100 years of experience. The proof is in their partners. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today. And boy, oh boy, speaking of eliminating waste, the Bengals and Shemar Stewart have to eliminate all of the waste that's getting in the way of Shemar getting on the field. He's the only first-round pick that is unsigned as of this recording. He's one of just 2 rookies in the 2025 class that are unsigned, and it has to do with a clause in his contract, and we've heard a little bit about that. We heard from Mike Brown this week. We heard from Duke Tobin this week. All of these conversations are on our YouTube channel, Cincinnati Bengals Talk. But Andrew, it is... this is one that I really did think was going to get done before the start of camp. And maybe it wasn't when rookies reported on Saturday, but I just thought it would get done. And we're recording this on Tuesday night, but it doesn't feel like it's going to get done for Shemar to practice on Wednesday.
You mentioned other draft picks that are still working on signings, and it had me thinking. There's a question for you, James. Something to ponder. I'm not saying buy, sell. Just, is it possible that he ends up being the only remaining draft pick that's unsigned? Is it possible?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Quinshon Judkins is the other one. And the only reason he hasn't signed is because second rounders have gotten fully guaranteed deals, like in the 30s, if you're picked in the 30s. And he has an off the field issue that just started. And I don't have the details of it, but like Yeah, absolutely. Because I think he is signed if that off the field issue didn't happen a week or two ago or whatever it was. And so, yes, absolutely, there's that path. And honestly, it's a good segue because it's the worst thing that can happen to Shamar Stewart. It's the worst thing, and this is what I hate. This is what I hate about this whole situation is when I look on social media, Shamar Stewart's getting trashed. When I ask the Bengals, point at Shamar in their Shamar's camp and say, "Well, they did this, and we think it's going to get done at some point," and they think they're being reasonable. Shamar's camp thinks that putting that clause in there is just completely insane. Basically, the clause would void any guaranteed money left on his contract. It doesn't void the contract, but it voids the guaranteed money that the Bengals would owe him if he gets in trouble. Now, there's a lot of different ways to get in trouble. I haven't read the clause, but that's very high level, basic explanation of what it is. And Shamar Stewart's camp doesn't want all of that guaranteed money voided. They only want that year. So if it happens in his second year and he gets in trouble, let's say he gets suspended for whatever, then year two's guarantees are void, but not year 3 and 4. That's the holdup. And it's a very small thing, but it's turned into a giant thing because it's been really loud. And I don't really think the Bengals can blink here because everyone knows the issue and knows the holdup. And they do need to set that precedent for first round picks. Most NFL teams have this in their contracts. But I don't really care who blinks at this point because all it's going to end up doing is hurting Shamar Stewart. He needs to be on the field. He needs to learn the NFL game. He's got a ton of talent, but it's going to take him some time to get ready to go and be the guy that they need him to be. Why? A lot of people thought he was raw at Texas A&M and a raw prospect that needed to work on his fundamentals, that needed to work on his technique. You can only do that on the field. You can only do that going up against NFL players in practice. And so hopefully he gets on the field soon. And by the time we do our next show, he's on the field because ultimately all this back and forth in corporate and all that, the only person it's truly hurting is Shamar Stewart. And so both sides need to be working to get him on the field.
Yeah, and I see the comments on social media. I see it in articles. I see it in this very chat as we're live, James.
I'm sure you do.
Shamar,
Yeah.
bust of a pick, waste of a pick, biggest
Yeah.
bust.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother story. But I guess I don't want to say silver lining, but looking at it from a concept, I think there was something to what Duke Tobin said there. It's something that we've kind of said in different ways in that I don't know. I think of a bust of a pick, and granted, a bust is just the outcome. We don't have the outcome yet, but a bust being that is the attitude there. Does he have a desire to get on the field? We can't say 100% for sure, but in terms of character, I like what I've seen from him so far and the limited things I've seen him in. So what Duke Tobin was alluding to about this is more of, the people that, like, how he phrased it, I'm paraphrasing, the people that he paid to make these decisions for him. It's a young guy and he's following someone's lead, someone that is supposed to be experienced in what they're doing. I don't know his agent. I can only see some credentials out there, but I'm not saying he's not experienced. My point being that this whole situation feels maybe like a bust, I suppose, if we're going to talk about like the vibe of it all. Mm-hmm. But I certainly don't sit here and say that it's a waste of, I'm not declaring it a waste of a pick. We're not even in August yet.
All right, a couple things. One, it's the dumbest take ever to say that Shamar Stewart can't play football because he hasn't gotten on the field yet. Or that they never should have picked. Like, it sucks. It doesn't feel great. But if he has 10 sacks this year, everyone's going to shut up and everyone's going to forget about this. They just are. As big as this has been. The other element here, and I do think that this is true, I was talking to a neutral party on Tuesday. Someone that's not associated with the Bengals, not associated with Shamar Stewart's camp, is heavily involved in the NFL. I don't want to go any farther because he didn't say run with this. He was like, I can't believe they're going to hold out because of that. I can't believe they're going to hold out because of that. And I've asked other people around the league the past couple of days, and that's kind of why I thought it would get done, because you made this big stink about it, but most teams in the league put that, like Saquon Barkley has this language in his contract. And does it vary from team to team? Yeah, a little bit. But what it does is it protects the team just in case something crazy happens. Fine. If there's a particular part of it, like let's just say Shamar Stewart gets in a fight week 8 of his first year and on the field, and he gets suspended for a game and he's defending a teammate. Should he have all of his guarantees void because of that? No. So that's what's tough is I don't know all of the particulars, but then negotiate that point. Because if it's the other stuff and it felt like it was the off the field stuff, well, then that's pretty normal. It doesn't mean you're cut if you get in trouble off the field, but your guarantees get voided and you basically have to go year to year and earn your contract, which isn't that crazy. But to not get him on the field for that, I know people in the NFL that aren't associated with either party that think Shemar Stewart's camp is crazy for going that route, assuming it happens. Because again, maybe he signs Wednesday morning. We're recording this Tuesday night. I'm just being very upfront with people, and that could change. It could happen quick, and he could get to practicing. He's in town, or he can be in town very quickly. As of Monday, he posted in Texas, but you just never know. You never know how quickly guys can get here. So hopefully he is in town. That's the other thing. Get in town. Like contracts can be done quickly. I would be in town right now if I'm Shemar because you want to practice that the moment that contract is agreed to, sign it and get on the field.
That's why I never leave my house, James. We never know. We could just have to go live at a moment's notice. So why leave?
You never know. You should never leave. Up next, the Bengals' biggest weakness, at least on offense, is their guard play. I asked Dan Pitcher a key question about two young offensive linemen. Will they be in the guard competition? We'll discuss that coming up next. That's pretty long, bro. We don't have much left.
I know. I think we're like 9 and 8 or something like that, or 8 and 8.
Yeah. All right. Those are meaty subjects, though.
Better get this up here before he bails.
There we go. I was wondering. Ball don't lie unless Audie's shooting it, you know?
Change of pace. He was yelling at us for us being on TV screens.
Oh, man. Happy birthday, Audie. Haunt you in your dreams, son.
All right.
Yeah, I meant to say dreams.
What do you think? We're going to do 3-4 minutes on O-line?
Pretty quick. Pretty quick. I'll ask you a question, give my opinion, we'll get out. You want me to or hey, did you watch that movie trailer I sent you?
Not yet. I saw like the teaser originally, but
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
What's that called?
What are we doing?
What's that called? No, you didn't respond to me. So
I know I couldn't. I was busy.
Yeah. Weapons, dude. Weapons looks good. I'm a big horror movie fan.
Weapons.
Woo! I was watching. I was like, just come straight to streaming. Like, go back to COVID. Come straight to streaming so I can watch it. It's coming out like August 8th in the thick of camp. Guess what I'm not going to do? Spend time at the theater during the thick of camp. Neither are you, by the way.
Oh, I'll be at the theater. I'll be at the theater Thursday.
Of course you will.
Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Thursday evening. Don't worry.
Yeah, you better believe it's evening. And you're going to be up bright and early Friday. Bright and early Friday. All right. Yeah.
All right. We're going to record another segment quickly for.
Yeah. We have 2 more segments. We have like 5 minutes left, and then we'll get into a Q&A. But yeah, that movie looks good. Oof. I'm
a little under the weather. I feel like James is starting to. It's like blood in the water for James. I feel it just escalating.
I mean, under the weather. Got 1,000 things to do, my man. You don't have time to be sick. When I'm sick and I don't have time to be sick, I'm not under the weather. I say I'm fine.
All right.
Rub some dirt on it.
That's right. I'm working on figuring out how to join a union. Don't worry about it.
A union. Ain't no union here.
All right. I'm ready.
Today's show brought to you by unions.com, or you could. No. All right.
I'm getting Shemar Stewart's agent.
Come on, man. Stop. People are going to think like I'm against that guy. Like I think.
No. I said it.
I know, but I'm the one who's been like, hey, stop being so damn loud. I've said it everywhere. There's no way they haven't seen it. Oh, man. Also, stop being so loud. All right. Ready?
I'm ready.
It's ironic coming from me. Usually quiet. I'm just loud when the mic's hot. Ready?
Ready.
Welcome back to End of the Jungle. I'm James Rapien. He's Andrew Fox-Miller. And it's no secret that the Bengals offensive line, well, there's some question marks. There's question marks at both guard spots. They drafted Dylan Fairchild. They added Lucas Patrick. I think those two guys are the favorites entering training camp to start at left and right guard respectively. But Andrew, I got to be honest. I was hoping, a big part of me was hoping that 5th round pick Jalen Rivers and that last year's 7th-round pick, Matt Lee, that they would be entering the guard competition. But I asked Dan Pitcher about this on Monday, the Bengals offensive coordinator, and he said Rivers, they're basically keeping him at offensive tackle, and he's going to work as their swing tackle to start camp, and that they view Matt Lee as a center. Yeah, he can flex to guard if they really need him to in a pinch, but they view him as a center. Obviously, he'll back up Ted Karras. I was bummed because I thought both guys are quality pass protectors out of the University of Miami, and who knows, maybe they could beat out Lucas Patrick. Doesn't look like they're going to get the opportunity.
I know. I hear what you're saying.
Mhm.
My concern in that scenario is that, like, in terms of tackle depth, that takes a lot out of it. I mean, like Rivers alone. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do with? I assume like Orlando Brown Jr., Amarius Mims. Rivers is going to probably be utilized, and I'm sure Cody Ford could bounce around and do tackle as well. But I don't know. Best player, I get it, should be in the spot that they're going to be the most effective. I hear you on that, but I'd be really worried about tackle depth. All of a sudden, we'd be having a whole different conversation about the offensive line.
Yeah, I get that, and I think he's valuable there. Like, as a reserve, I'd much rather him have Jalen Rivers as a backup tackle than a backup guard.
Sure.
But if he's going to start for you, well, then I'd be all in on that. If that's it. But I get the sense that he's still picking up things a little bit from NFL NFL playbook wise and all those things, and just getting used to the technique. That's fine. He was super versatile at Miami. Wouldn't be shocked at all if at one point during his Bengals career he plays guard. But it does look like I'd be stunned if your starting offensive line, to be honest with you, didn't include Dylan Fairchild and Lucas Patrick at this point as we enter training camp. Up next, some key starters were cleared and got a clean bill of health. We will discuss that coming up next. Ooh, we're almost there. Get ready for that Q&A. Ooh,
Q&A is
shoot.
coming, everybody. This is going to be like the shortest segment. What are we talking about in this
Ooh,
final one?
shoot. Huh?
You sent it to me. Is this?
What'd I send you?
You sent me the rundown. I'm looking.
Yeah.
Jungle Jam. No, injuries.
Oh.
You wanted to talk about injuries. Which was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just teased it.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
You didn't even pay attention, man.
Nah,
like
a lot of comments to read, man. So
what is
good time.
wrong with you? Comments to read.
I'm joking.
My God.
I'm just foggy tonight, man.
Yeah, you're something tonight. Hopefully Fairchild's the real deal.
I've got a lot of comments queued up, so we're going to be addressing those here in a few minutes when we get done with this last recorded segment.
All right.
Oh,
am I blurry? I have bars. Am I blurry?
Yeah, so you're not on my end. There was a few times I was getting like the little Wi-Fi symbol popping up on your side or whatever.
On my side?
And it just so happened that you kind of like got a little glitchy like audio-wise, but I think it's going to be okay in the recording. It wasn't excessive.
Okay. Looks good now. So,
yep.
Weird. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Welcome back to Enter the Jungle. He's Andrew Fox Miller. I'm James Rapien, and the Bengals, well, they got some important good news when it comes to the health of the Hills. Dax Hill, BJ Hill, both cleared for training camp. Dax Hill coming off of a torn ACL. By far, in my opinion, their most talented cornerback. I think they're going to use him all over. And while they may play it safe and take it easy early in camp, big news, Andrew, that he's cleared. Also, BJ Hill missed a lot of the offseason program with a foot injury. I do think that they're going to take it really slow with him, and he'll participate at times, but he's cleared. He's not on any lists. Both guys on track to play and start week 1 for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, obviously BJ Hill, I'm not as worried about. The fact that he's cleared is huge. I'm very happy to hear that. But agree, like ease him in however you need to. I'm not worried about him at all. He is the veteran of that D-line, and if that just means he's going to be doing some more, getting to know these young guys, helping on as a mentor role, and then doing what he needs to do to get into shape, I'm all for it. Now, Dax Hill is another story. It's crazy to me that I'm sitting here saying we got to get that guy as many reps as we can in the year 2025, but yet here we are, another training camp. Let's get him out there and let's help him realize his potential. Al Golden, whoever can do it, I don't know. Let's go.
I don't need to see much of Dax Hill in camp or in the preseason. He'll know where to go. He's smart, super athletic. Be healthy week 1. I agree with you. Hopefully that happens. We're going to have you covered all training camp and all season long on the YouTube channel, Cincinnati Bengals Talk. For Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching Enter the Jungle. Man, your salute was late as hell
Dude,
there, man.
dude, I'm like,
The whole world knew I was closing things out, and you
oh my gosh.
saluted. You were in a glitch. You looked like your
Oh my
internet
God.
was so far bright. You had
I'll
that AOL
I'll
dial-up.
re-record it. I'll re-record it in post. I'll re-record it in post. That's right, Eric Ellis. That's Superman was great. I need some of that yellow sun is what I need to get back into
Yeah, you
full
do.
strength here. I'm powering through it though. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
I just saw this
That was
McDonald's Wi-Fi.
McDonald's, dude. Yeah, that's an airplane guest Wi-Fi.
I don't know what's
Airplane
going on.
Wi-Fi kills me. By the way, it
Better
always
not be
teases
me.
you.
Got an Eero and got it hardwired.
What?
All right,
Internet?
let's see. I've got some things here. Oh yeah, no, as far as my health, Matt Bengals and Bourbon. Yeah, no, that might be part of my problem, honestly, why I'm not feeling 100%. I don't know. So,
Because you haven't.
but
had
maybe there's
anything?
only one way to find out, to rule it out, I suppose. Caden's been calling for me for president on behalf of the state of Washington this entire chat. I don't know what's going on there, but
No, he's from Washington State. Shout out Caden for
That's
being an
right.
everydayer. Andrew for president, though, which is
that's
fine.
you just said what I said in a different order.
No, but you said he's been calling me for president of Washington or something. Like you
on
said
behalf
it
of Washington State.
Oh, okay.
Like speaking on behalf of.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so we'll do a little bit of Bengals. I got some fun stuff here. I've seen a lot of things about mock turtle soup.
Yeah, man.
There's so many of them.
Yeah,
I just
man.
kept the first one I saw.
It's very, so it's not as, there's not as many spices like flavor wise, but the consistency is very close to Skyline.
Okay.
Because it's like a beef soup.
Yeah.
Shredded beef, like, but it's good. I mean, there were a couple people that said no to it, media members wise, and I'm like, man, I'll have their bowl. Like in my head, I didn't do that, but like if they handed me, they're not going to, handed me at noon after practice ends tomorrow, a bowl of mock turtle soup, I'd be like, all right, I'm in. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's good.
I mean, it's not like a salad that would upset you.
No, I actually ate the salad yesterday. Getting better.
You ate a salad?
Yeah, I know. What the hell's the world
Look
coming
at
to?
you.
I mean, I didn't enjoy it, but it was
okay.
there. I was like,
yeah,
I'll eat this lettuce like a rabbit. What in the world? Who does that? People order that. People order salad, like not on the side, but like as a meal.
That's right.
Anyway.
You could pretty much make it a meal. You put enough stuff in there. This has already been addressed.
Sure. If you put a bunch of chicken and steak or something in it.
I promise we'll move on to mock turtle soup, but this you've already kind of addressed this. It's more the last thing. Like, do they really just hand it out to media and then you just, if you want it and you can ask questions during it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what? You laugh as though like that should be such common knowledge. I'm laughing at the thought of like who sits there and thinks about this. That's why I'm asking the question.
Because then I would never have tried it because I'd be like, oh well, Mike's like, no one would eat. So the way it works is it's like an hour and 20 minutes or so, I would say, for like Mike. So you'll see a bunch of different quotes from Mike. The ones that are on our channel are one of like 4 pods he went to, 3 TV pods. I was in the TV pod because I was doing video, and then a writer pod. So he probably did like 100 or an hour and 20 minutes of interviews yesterday. So you'll see the quotes, and they're all the same, right? Because he's being asked the same questions, but they'll vary a little bit, whether he was talking to the writers, like Jay for BengalsTalk.com, or Paul or Kelsey, all of them, they were there. Me and Ben, for example, we were in the TV pod. So if you see a quote from me or a quote from Ben Baby, yeah, we write a lot, but that's probably coming from the TV pod. So that happens. And then after that, they present the Coach of the Year award, and Coach Bolden won it this year, which well deserved. Obviously, Cole Rain, and now, where'd he go? Lakota West. That's right. He went to Lakota West, and they're dominant now. And last I checked, Cole Rain wasn't good anymore. I might be wrong, but last I checked, they weren't. And so gave the award to Coach Bolden, and then we had lunch. So like by the time lunch happens, all the interviews are done. The work is done. You're slaving away over there trying to get those to get everything up. And then we were eating lunch, and lunch was good. I would love lunch every day. I would never complain.
Getting back to Trey Hendrickson,
Oh,
Mindful, who
so you
is
get me
probably not
hungry.
here anymore, says, "You think Trey's the
Come
difference
on.
between a Super Bowl ring and not getting one? You've lost me there, and I'm out."
Okay. I mean, that's dumb. Kevin Zeitler was the difference between a Super Bowl ring and not getting one. You know how many people were the difference between getting a Super Bowl ring and not getting one? If Riley Reef doesn't get hurt, they probably have a Super Bowl ring. The next year, if Lyle Collins doesn't get hurt, they probably have a Super Bowl ring. You don't think Trey Hendrickson can be the difference in one of those playoff games? Like, let me think of like the lowest man on the totem pole right now that could be the difference. Like Tyson
Anybody could
Anderson
be a
could be the
difference, I get
difference.
that.
Yeah, like could be
But
the difference between in one of those games. So yeah, do I think that when the Bengals really, really, really need to get a stop in January, that having Trey is going to matter? It did against Pittsburgh. It did the exact last game that we saw them. That defense won that game. T. Higgins got hurt. The defense won that game, and Trey Hendrickson was a big reason why. So yes, I do think Trey makes that much of a difference.
I think it distorts people's opinion when they consider the fact that he was on the team all last season and opponents were hanging up 30-40 consistently against them. So I'm not saying that that's an argument, but I think it's easy to think, well, like last season feels like a bust and Trey was a constant on that team. So how could he be the true difference in a Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl or not? Just, we'll call it devil's advocate. I'm just kind of going with that
Sure.
premise.
And the difference is if Al Golden can get the secondary's head out of its rear and get more out of the rest of these pass rushers, well, then Trey Hendrickson isn't going to see double and triple teams on passing downs, and they can go another direction, and he can either have a shot or one of these other guys have a shot. Like it just, you need a dominant player that's going to command attention, and if you don't have it from Trey, who's it going to be? I don't need Trey to have 17 and a half sacks this year for it to be worth it to pay him. But what I need is I need him, along with the rest of the defensive line, to be much better and more effective than they were last year with the game on the line. And right now, or certainly last year, when the game's on the line, all you had to do was take away 91. And you take away 91 in this defense, they're going to screw up. They're going to have a coverage breakdown. They're not going to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. Lamar Jackson is going to sit back there on fourth down and just casually drop a Steph Curry like pass after throwing an incomplete on third down because it's just that easy. Like you just need guys that are going to be disruptive. And by the way, that's why I like Shemar Stewart. I think he can be disruptive. I think he can matter this year. He's that physically gifted. But yeah, is Trey a difference maker? If he wasn't, then you should have just traded him because you knew that he was going to demand 30 plus million bucks. You knew he was going to want guarantees beyond year one the moment you gave them to T. Higgins. That was 4 months ago. Like none of this is shocking. And so, yeah, I do. I think he can be a difference maker. And I do think the Bengals view him as a difference maker. Otherwise, he would have been traded by now. And that's a big part of it. Doesn't mean everybody views him that way. I get it. And you don't have to if you disagree with me. But I certainly think the Bengals view him that way. And a lot of the NFL does as well.
Switching up positions but staying on defense, Tough says, who do
Mm.
you think it's middle MLB 2, linebacker 2, Demetrius Knight or Oren Burks? I'm assuming one of those is 1 in that scenario.
No, I mean, linebacker 1 is Logan.
Oh, linebacker 1. Yes.
Yeah. Well, the MLB part it made it.
Yeah,
He was saying middle linebacker 2, but
Right,
he's the linebacker 2. Yeah, it's probably going to be Demetrius. But I thought it was interesting yesterday. Al Golden went out of his way to praise Oren Burks and said it was one of the more underrated moves they made. He was really excited about it. And that's what I think is interesting. With Al, you may have the starters, and it probably will be Demetrius, and it better be Demetrius in a way because they passed on Tate Ratledge, which I still can't get over. Maybe one day I will, or maybe one day I won't because I posted about the Bengals passing on Tyrann Mathieu in 2013 today. Congrats on a great career, Tyrann, for Margus Hunt, by the way. I posted about that today. Clearly, I can't let things go. Made me furious then, and I'm still annoyed. But you do that because you think Demetrius Knight is going to come in right away and help you. So I think it'll be Knight starting. But really, you look at the Bengals linebackers, like Oren Burks is experienced and can do all of the Akeem Davis Gaither stuff, but I think he's better on defense. that third linebacker spot, and then you just flashed up the comment on Barrett Carter.
Mhm.
The Bengals had a second round grade on Barrett Carter. Like they were really high on Barrett Carter, and you talk to people in the building, they would have considered him much earlier, and it's just how the board fell. But they really liked Knight and Carter, and so for them to get both of those guys, plus they had Oren Burks, I think they feel pretty darn good about their linebacker room right now.
Let's see here. How about take that out of here? I'll mention this. Maddie pointed this out that you should be in Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but he said all you need is a Bengals Talk skateboard deck on the wall to complete the look.
I like that. All right.
Don't create work for me, Maddie. I got to start figuring out what logos I got to use for that.
Isn't there like a skateboard company?
I'm sure.
I think there is. I think Bangalorean has I think he had a deal with them or something. I was talking with him the other day. I should ask him.
Miles Murphy.
Although I can't skate. There's no way. I would suck at skateboarding.
No,
suck at it.
You just got to look the part.
I could do the look for sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I've never been told that.
DJ says, I still believe Miles Murphy can step up this season. He has all the tools, make or break season for him. That last sentence, especially for me.
Yeah, 100%. All the tools. I think he worked really hard this offseason. I want him to play with a little, and this is what I liked about Shemar in college, like a little, I'll say chip on his shoulder. I was going to cuss, but there's just no reason. Like I want a little edge to him this year. Like if you're Miles, play like your NFL life is on the line. He's going to have a long career. Like he's going to. But if he's going to be a really good high-end edge rusher that gets paid and gets a lot of money, this is the year to start showing it. Doesn't mean he's going to get paid in March or April or next offseason with an extension. But that fifth-year option, ask Dax. I mean, coming off the ACL, he had flashed enough. They're like, all right, we're going to pick up that fifth-year option. It's a lot of money. And so it's not a contract year for Miles, but it sort of is. And so the make or break, I do think from a make or break, not NFL career standpoint, but it's make or break from are you going to be a truly impact edge rusher, at least with the Bengals during your rookie contract? If you are, it will happen this year. If not, well, then it's just not going to, I would be shocked if it suddenly happens in year 4. And you can't really bank on him after this year if he's not productive this season.
Tough ass. Do you think DJ Turner will play more than Josh Newton or Dax Hill?
Oh, well, he better not play more than Dax. And
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, why? I'm not sure Dax should ever come off the field. Ever. He can do everything. Like if you want, let's just say, you think for this particular matchup or on this particular down that DJ Turner, Cam Taylor-Britt, and Josh Newton are your best cover corners. That's fine. Well, Dax can still guard the tight end. Dax can still play safety. Dax can blitz off the edge. Dax can do all of these things. Let's just say on this particular down, you need him to go into that nickel spot and cover. He can do that. He needs to go outside and cover. He can do that. He's played deep safety before. Like, will he come off the field a little bit? Sure. But I remember during the Bengals peak a few years ago defensively when they were just awesome, you would look and it would be like Jesse Bates, 100% snaps, Von Bell, 98%. I kind of think Dax should be in that realm because you can use him in a bunch of different ways. I do think Josh Newton is someone they're high on. I think he's going to be in the mix. I think they really like his mentality, his physicality. That's a guy, like that's what I mean with Miles, like that mentality element. Like you just want that. You want that guy that has a little of that to him. And Josh has it. And so I think he's going to play a significant amount. But it's so interesting. And that's why they didn't add at corner because they really believe in Dax Hill. Cam Taylor-Britt is someone that they know can produce when he's locked in, and they believe he can be more consistent. And DJ Turner was starting to come on last year as well. Like there's all these guys that you believe in, and it's up to Al Golden to get the most out of them. And I do wonder. I think Turner is more of an outside guy than a nickel guy, even though you would look at his size and say, oh, he could kick inside, but he's more like the straight line speed type. But Newton, Hill, we saw Cam Taylor-Britt a little bit. in the nickel and line up at safety. Like I think that they're trying these guys a little bit to see where they can fit and how they can fit because they want to play a lot of them pretty regularly, which is good because there's going to be injuries. Guys are going to get nicked up, and they're probably going to have to play different spots. You're not going to be able to just run out there and play one or two spots all season.
Got some other questions I'm going to flash up here regarding Shemar, Demetrius Knight, some fun questions about stadium renovations. So there are things that if you've asked previously in the last 10, 15 minutes, I'm bringing them up when the timing's right here, but I haven't forgotten about you potentially here. So one was, I thought this was an interesting question, and it's been talked about a bit, but do you have any thoughts on the fact that Demetrius Knight Jr. broke the ice on the void contract language, so it takes away a little bit of Shemar's stance of not wanting to be the one that set the precedent?
Yeah, I think that would be big, and I really do, I hope that that's what they did. Because if they did that, they can go to Shemar and say, Demetrius signed it, and 80% of his contract is guaranteed. 80%. And then that kind of sets the standard because then Shemar could say, well, you gave Demetrius 75% of his signing bonus up front, which is typical for the Bengals in a second round pick. Signing bonuses aren't as big, obviously, for second rounders. And so then the Bengals could say, fine, we'll do it and we'll give you 75% up front, but you have to accept this clause. That should be it. It should be that simple. I hope it is. If it was, it would probably be done. Who knows? But yeah, I certainly hope so. And I said it on the show, but we have a lot of new viewers. The person that's losing in all of this right now is Shemar. And both sides need to be doing everything they can to get him on the field because he needs to be on the field. And that's the bottom line. The goal here is to play football at a high level. All this other stuff is other stuff. Even the business side, it's still the business side. It's about football. So how do you make it about the football? You find a way to get common ground to get it done. And I don't think the Bengals can blink on this language now. It's too public. You can't set the precedent that you're going to blink in this situation. They have to have that language in there. So, all right, Shemar, what needs to happen on your end for you to be okay with that language in there? That's the hurdle that his camp has to get over. And that's what I believe needs to happen for this to get done.
I'm going to jump on this real quick. This is a good one from Crypt Keeper. Mr. James, with all the bad luck the Bengals have, do you consider them the Red Ranger of the NFL? Going with an analogy here that James would probably be able to break down as a Power Rangers fan.
Yeah, no, not necessarily. I mean, I always thought the Green Ranger kind of had some bad luck. You know, I mean, he wasn't around that long, and Rita took his powers, and so I wouldn't even. Am I wrong here, Red Ranger wise?
I have to. Now I have to go back and look into like
no,
the
like
plot lines, and I haven't watched it since I was like in grade school. You're going to really start thinking about this now. I was worried about
well,
that.
I'm looking. Yeah, I mean, maybe in the other series, I Googled it real quick, and it's like there's an out of luck episode in a Red Ranger out of what was it? Red Ranger Operation Overdrive. It might have been iterations of Power Rangers that I didn't watch, but no, I always thought that the Red Ranger was just the leader. Obviously, Jason was.
I assume Jason. Yeah, are we talking Jason or Rocky here? I assume
Jason is who I was thinking of, but like when I Googled it really quickly just now, it was someone else. But no, I don't think the Bengals have bad luck. Like I don't buy that. Like I just don't. I don't know. I don't live my life that way.
I mean, every team has some bad luck. Do they have worse luck than
everybody else? Has bad luck. Bad things happen to everybody on the planet. So like, what are you gonna do?
James and Andrew, Lions versus Chargers Hall of Fame game next Thursday, the 31st. Will you be watching or will you be skipping that one?
It'll be on in the background.
Yeah. It'll be some multitasking, but I definitely want
to. Like, I'm not going to
happening. Yeah.
I'm not going to like go out of my way to like watch the Hall of Fame game. It is crazy to think though. Every time the Hall of Fame game rolls around, I think about 2010. It was the Bengals were in the Hall of Fame game, and that was the TO year. And he had just signed. It's like the most excited I was ever, like, because I thought they're going to be so good. We knew each other. And, dude, I thought for sure, or we were about to know each other. I think we were about to know each other. or knew of each other. We weren't like chatting, but like, cause I don't remember talking to you about Tio and Chad much. And that's all I could think about. But they Carson threw it to Tio multiple times. I was in Gatlinburg watching it. And I was like, man, I was so excited. It was a stupid Hall of Fame game. So excited watching
I
that.
remember that. Yeah. Let's see here. How about B. Henry says, I'm still trying to get over my PTSD with Money Mac. Did he seem in good spirits, or is there going to be legitimate competition in the kicking game?
No, I think they're confident in Evan, and it's really going to come down to, and it's one of the underrated camp battles is that long snapper and Cal Adamitis versus William Wagner. William Wagner was their top rated long snapper in the draft. I could say this now. I talked to Darren during the draft one of those days. Darren Simmons, the Bengals special teams coordinator. I don't think he would care. I was like, you about to pick a long snapper, huh? He was like, oh no, we'd never pick a long snapper. But yeah, we're looking. And so I think that they want some competition there. They feel really comfortable. But with Ryan Rico, I think the things with Evan were mechanical things that they believe they could fix. And I'm excited to see Evan. I've always believed in Evan's talent. I was critical of him last year, deservedly so. But I also think that there were some long snapping issues that we didn't necessarily realize in the moment that impacted things. And the Bengals feel that way too. So Evan needs to bounce back. The Bengals special teams, they need to be better. Ryan Rico was a bright spot, but they need to be better because you can't be talking about a hold here or a missed kick there or a bad snap there. Like those things can't be why you lose close games.
Taylor says, off topic, with the stadium renovations, what's the one thing you personally want outside of the concrete walls, James?
Oh,
Maybe you should selfishly look at it from a standpoint of what you
oh,
deal with on a day-to-day basis
I'm
there.
about to.
Okay.
Uh, how do I like a mini recording studio area? Maybe it's like 3 of them, so other people can use them too. The TVs would probably hog them. So I would want them to dedicate one to me, but like give me access to one pretty regularly because I record there almost every day when I'm there. And so yeah, that would be it because you know how it is, and people that
Mhm.
watch the channel know like there might be vehicles going by me or stuff, and you just roll with it, whatever, who cares? But if you had like an area where it doesn't feel like you're bothering anyone, and vice versa, then it's much easier. So that would be it. That's never going to happen, and I'm okay with that. I also like the challenge, like on the road too. Like after a game, you've seen this, Andrew. Like
Mm.
they're replacing the field in New York right behind me, literally switching it from Giants to Jets, and you got to do it, and that's kind of the fun part of the challenge. But yeah, I mean, having a little area to record would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, from your end of things, I would my first go-to would have been uh, a different media room altogether for press conferences, but that's already in the works. So I'm not going to point that one out, I guess. From a fan perspective,
I mean, it's
there's
the same room,
okay,
but
but you know what I mean? Like,
I heard it's awesome. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna see it tomorrow.
yeah, so I guess we'll find out on that. From a fan perspective, man, there's so many directions to go in that. For me, it's more of like, I like, look at how the Cincinnati Reds do things. Like, if you could find even a fraction of what they're doing, I feel like it's kind of going in that direction. But just like, I'm not saying they have to have bobblehead night, but things like that, like the little things that they would hand out at games for like kids and things like that, it goes a long way. So, especially
First
for, yeah,
10,000
tickets.
fans get a pack of Trey Hendrickson signed contracts.
Working escalators would be a start. That's fair. The escalator I use has not had many issues, but maybe I've just gotten lucky.
How
But yeah,
about
I know
no
that's a thing.
escalators?
Oh yeah, someone mentioned that earlier. Thanks, Sherry. Cincy Hat, yeah, it was on the Cincy Hats website. Check it out if it's out there. You can order these. I think they're limited. They certainly were announced as a new thing, and they were giving them out at Jungle Jam in Newport, Kentucky over the weekend. But they should be available on their website. I have to check that out to be sure. But yeah, it's really cool. Let's see here. Maybe we'll do a few more, and then how about? All right, I'll pull this up because I've seen a few of these coming up now. Just high level established, James. Question of James: can you explain why the Bengals don't actually give the title of GM? I get Duke is technically it, but why not give him the title?
I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe because Katie does the contracts and Duke is doing the personnel. So it's literally like the GMs you talk to, a lot of GMs will do the contracts. Not all, obviously. And I'm thinking like I don't think John Lynch does the contracts from a nuts and bolts perspective. He has people behind him. Like so that but that's probably it. That's probably the logic there is you have someone that's literally directing player personnel. That's his job. And then someone that's doing a lot of the negotiations. So I would imagine that's it. Like if you asked for an explanation, and that's why there's like the player side and then the business side. Even with that, it's kind of separate. So yeah,
I don't want to sit here and do revisionist work here, but I'll direct this at you as well. Of course, James, I'll start with you. Knowing what you know now, I think we're referring specifically to this draft. If you could go back and pick a different player, first round pick to avoid this holdout, would you? Or is the talent worth the drama that we're experiencing?
Would you?
I feel like we would have at the time. Like, I didn't hate the Shemar Stewart pick, but it certainly wasn't.
Well, at the time, like my big targets, I'm trying to remember exactly. So it was Colston Loveland. I had a big 5.
I know.
Oh, did I write him? I might have had a different notebook. Oh no. Here we go. Dang, look at that. Calvin Banks was picked. Walter Nolan was picked. Derek Harmon was available. Nick Emanwari was available. Jahad Campbell was available. Colston Loveland was picked. So, and I know that's 6. I kept Colston Loveland like on the side because I knew that they weren't going to get a chance to take him. I knew he was going to go. But yeah, of those guys, I probably would have went either Harmon or Campbell. There's questions about Campbell's shoulder. So you probably do Derek Harmon, but there were rumblings about his health too. But I don't know why. Because he didn't miss any games. So the answer is probably Derek Harmon, and if not, Jahad Campbell. That's probably the route I would go. I would have went that night, and that isn't hindsight. That isn't me reacting. Just to be clear, that's not me reacting. That's literally. This is from. I wish I had a date on it, but regardless, like you can see, like that's been there, done that. And so yeah, I think I wrote this before I did the video, like. But the other guy that I would have been on board with, and the 2 Super Bowl teams killed it because the Eagles get Jahad Campbell and the freaking Chiefs get Josh Simmons, and Simmons is probably going to start for them because he's good. I would have been on board with Josh Simmons as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I remember thinking Walter Nolan for the reasons you mentioned.
And I think they would have taken Nolan if he was there.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the holdout. But he wasn't there.
I know. I'm just thinking of like interior D-line especially, but yeah, I don't know.
Man, the Reds lost.
I try to block it from my memory. All right, let's see here.
Yeah, we'll wrap up here in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. You got another one or two?
Yeah, sure. Let's see here.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here.
I'm run on fumes here. Just not 100%. I'm getting there.
You got to run on your own gas.
Does TJ Slayton have potential to be as good as DJ Reader while he was in Cincy? Not exactly the same player.
Run on your own gas. Who said it? Trivia.
Run on your own gas?
Yep.
Why are you doing trivia with me right now?
Come on.
Running your own gas was why are you making me do this in like
come on
things? I don't know. Tell me.
In 2017, I had to look up the year. Shout out to Richard Skinner. Marvin Lewis made that the team slogan.
That's right.
Run on your own gas. And
what do you? Okay, where are you?
Another part of the trivia here. Well, that's what you need to do right now because training camp hasn't even started yet. You're already tapping out. I
Oh,
need
that's
you to
brutal.
run on your own gas. You want me to go into a Hard Knocks motivational speech?
No,
The Marvin one
not at all.
in '09 when he just loses it. You can't tackle. You can't make mistakes. Anyways, I went with the G version there. But run on your gas. Mo Egger and I used that to create the Run on Your Own Gas podcast.
There you
There
go.
was like 6 episodes. Oh, look at that. Look at Audie. Look at Audie. Oh, I found it. Dude, I found it. I'm putting it in chat right now. Shout out to Spreaker. Look at this.
Oh,
Did it go in the comments or no?
yeah, it did.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking at Starred. There we go. Isn't that hilarious? I bet that is the worst podcast ever. Not because of Mo, but because of me. Oh, so the last episode ever, Mo Egger and James Rapien have a big announcement. Mo eats pizza, and James has a new nickname for Andy Dalton. I think that's when I debuted Blandy Dalton. Look at that.
What a
Look
moment.
at that. What a moment. Blandy Dalton's an elite nickname. An elite nickname. All right. What else you got? You got to run on your own gas, Andrew. That's the bottom line. 3 minutes you're never going to get back.
High level. Let's end with this just because it's a touchy point for me of contention for the last 2 years. Do you have faith in our secondary?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they have good players. It's just, will it come together? Like, will the communication and everything come together? I think that a lot of the guys are talented. Yeah, and does that work? I will say the other name, and I think was really high on the Bengals board, was Malachi Starks. I think that might have been who they picked if it wasn't for Shemar Stewart. So just throw that one out there. But that's what annoys me about their draft, man, is it really fell where you could have added to all these layers, where you either go Shemar Stewart or maybe you go Derek Harmon. And then round 2, you could have went Tate Ratledge. And then round 3, you get the Penn State safety that, like, why am I forgetting his name now? I got it here. I'm looking up depth charts. Kevin Winston Jr. You get Winston Jr., who you had a round 2 grade on, but he fell to round 3 because he's coming off of an injury. Like, all these, like, it just fit. And then you still could have got Barrett Carter to help your linebackers. Like, it just, I can't get over it. Oh, maybe they're right, but you could have helped both interior trenches, gotten a safety, and added a linebacker. And it's like you help all these things. So no, I think the secondary could be solid, but it's up to Al Golden, and it's up to these young guys to be dedicated and take a step forward.
All right, I got to edit this thing.
All right, Andrew's got to go. He's running on his own gas. You can't forget that short, brother. You can't forget that short. I'm going to listen to the Run on Your Own Gas podcast.
What are you doing? Looking up your podcast.
I just started listening to this stuff.
Wow. What a host. Listening to another podcast while he's trying to get
I just
YouTube.
Literally Mo's like, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to eat this pizza. Anyways, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Andrew's running on his own gas. I do that way too often. That's a fart joke. Until next time, for Andrew Foxmiller, I'm James Rapien. He can shake his head all he wants. That was funny. Until next time. Well, next time is tomorrow. We'll talk to you soon right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.